Hello, this is Greg Allison of Green Griggs coming to you on the 19th of March, 2021. Time on deck, 1800 hours Central Daylight Time. What is North Korea up to? North Korea seems to be changing their game. Are they coming up with a whole new dangerous game? Does this game that they're now shifting to seem to indicate or underscore maybe a shift in their policy, what they actually plan to do? Is North Korea cooking up plans to actually invade and attack South Korea? Sounds crazy, sounds off the wall. No, they'd never do that. But maybe it would fit in context with other things, other events. And holy smoke, they are actually giving a cold shoulder to President Biden. They won't even talk to him. So, wow, what is going on? We're going to talk about all this, and we're going to talk about their systems, their military. We're going to talk about their motivations. We're going to talk about what they could do for MP. And in fact, dry runs that they appear to have exercised already for EMP attacks and attacks on our grid, and other things they're doing with their massive cyber attack force that they've deployed upon the world today. And not necessarily in this order. But holy smoke, guys, I bring this to you as part of my Eyes Wide Open and Head on the Swivel news series, because I'm here to help you understand what threats we face so that we know what to prepare for, that we know to prepare, and then we can share with our friends so they will prepare, because a lot of them just aren't buying into this idea that we need to get prepared unless something already happens and they get the knee-jerk reaction and become toilet paper preppers. Don't be a toilet paper prepper. Prep ahead of time, okay? And try to get other people to prep ahead of time. The more people to prepare, the better off we all are, because then we can ride through these things together a little better. There's also other things we can do, like get our grid hardened. You know, I have chaired 2 power grid defense conferences, and this is something that I push for. And oh, by the way, I will bring you more stuff on this. I'll bring you more videos about power grid defense, what's going on in the world, how to eat from the weeds and the trees outdoors, which is free, and how to grow your own garden, which you really need to do. So also you need to go to True Leaf Market, because right now is the time to buy your seeds. Check my links below that. And right now, I've got a special deal. You can get this good 25-year long-term storage food. That's 25 years. You can get 2 of these, which is a 4-week supply, a little better than 20% off, or you can get 1, which is a 2-week supply. This bucket, one bucket is 2 weeks for a little less than 20% off. Guys, that works out to about $8.10 or 11 cents per day for meals. Three meals per day, 2,000 calories per day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Some drinks and desserts will make you a winner. This is real food, guys. Better it is to hydrate it, so it's lightweight. Hey, you just add water, and again, it's freeze dried. So, you know, I got videos on how to do the water, guys. How to purify and sanitize water. No, Dave Hodge, that's not the same thing. Make it from Green Grapes. I'll give you the skinny on what you need to do. Oh yeah, and by the way, in this comes great little pouches that you can put in your backpack and carry, and you can carry this easily. Kids can carry it, and that was 4 servings. This is only 2. Look at that big old ungainly can. All right, let's get on with it. I'm going to share some websites with you. A whole bunch of stories come out about North Korea lately, and I'm going to show you some presentation charts from my Power Grid Defense Conference presentations, or my Power Grid Defense presentations that I've given many times. But I'm just going to focus on the North Korean segment today. Okay, so to put all this into perspective of what we are up against with North Korea. And North Korea is not the trivial country that you may think it is, even though they're poor. They're like Spartans. Remember, the Spartans did beat the Athenians. Bear that in mind. And they truly are Spartans. They live a Spartan life. So let's go into the share zone here. Hang on, guys. Start bringing them. So here we are. Oh, Joe. He don't want to go. He don't want to talk to you even. Why not? The Biden administration has been quietly trying to reach out to North Korea, but getting ignored. Well, maybe, you know, Mr. Tough Guy just don't want to talk to Melvin Milton Toast or Milton Toast Joe. He just goes, this guy, look at him. He wants to cry. Why don't I want to talk to him? I don't know. It's kind of what that picture looks, right? I'm joking, guys. Come on. There's more to it than that, but geez. All right. So This details several attempts that the administration has made, including going to third-party countries to try to get an inroad to North Korea. And North Korea has been getting total rebuff, totally rejecting them, rejected. So we're going to look at what North Korea actually responded. Bing! Check this out. The Jerusalem Post. North Korea calls U.S. attempt to initiate contact a waste of time. Leave us alone. Hey, now this is a game change, guys. This is a change in their game. Remember, we all say, all North Korea wants to do is blackmail us, and threaten to, hey, we'll quit building stuff, or we'll attack you. But if you give us money, we not only won't attack you, but we'll quit building our nukes. We'll quit building this stuff, right? And so just give us money, give us some support. We'll be nice guys. And just about every administration has fallen in one form or another. This little game, but North Korea just keeps on building the same stuff. They keep blackmailing us, and they act like we're going to be nice guys. They shake hands and smile for a few days, and then go right back to business as usual. So, and that got little Kim dubbed Missile Man for a while by Trump, but then they got to be good kissing buddies there for a little while, it seemed, almost. But little Kim doesn't want anything to do with Uncle Joe. So what do you know? And look here, this is what they got to say here. A top North Korean diplomatic knowledge on Thursday that the United States had recently tried to reach out and called it a cheap trick. They will never be answered until Washington dropped its hostile practices. This comes from Ko Sun-Hu, how you pronounce that? Ko Sun-Hu, the first Vice Minister of Foreign Affairs. Now, that doesn't mean they're the very first one. That just means they're top in the pecking order when it says first here, okay? First Vice Minister of Foreign Affairs of North Korea. And a formal rejection of tentative approaches by the new U.S. administration. That's what they said. You're wasting your time. Wow. Imagine that. U.S. attempts to contact were made by sending emails, telephone messages via various routes, including a third-party country, like I said earlier. This is what Ko said. And she called it a cheap trick. So there you go, my friends. They don't want to talk to us. How in the world are they going to blackmail us if they don't want to talk to us? Maybe that's down the road. Give us money. No, maybe they got a new game. Maybe they decide that game is over now. Maybe they're ready to do something. Well, and they also chided us for doing military exercises with South Korea. Now, they've always done it. Every time we've had an exercise with South Korea, North Korea always threatens to attack and threatens war. They've done it every time. And so Biden's defense secretary says, hey, guys, don't, yeah, we're ready to fight. We're ready to fight right now. Bring it on. Of course, that's dangerous rhetoric coming from us, but, maybe that's what the tough guys got to hear. But that's what they put out. And you can see U.S. Defense Secretary on the left, Lloyd Austin, talking with South Korean Defense Minister Soo Wook. If I pronounce his name right. If I didn't get it, if I murdered, my apologies. My Korean is a bit rusty. By the way, this isn't against Korean people. There are good and bad people in both Koreas, and they're the same people. They're the same people on both sides. It's just one side's ruled by a communist despot, a cult of personality, and the other side's democratic. That's the difference. It's not the people; it's who rules them. It's the politics. And I'm not even going to say that all politicians are subject to corruption and all kind of stuff, even in the South Korea or U.S. Nobody's perfect, but, hey, I would take the South Korean system over the North Korean system any day. Some of you wouldn't agree with that. Oh, communism, socialism is great. Really? We're not done here yet today. Okay, guys? Just hang on your hats. I got some more stuff to show you. While North Korean missiles set in storage, i.e. they're not being flung at us right now, their hackers going rampant. Yeah, so what are they doing? They've stole billions of dollars, according to our U.S. Department of Justice. They paralyzed the United Kingdom's national health system. And they apparently have hacked India's newest nuclear power plant to steal its designs. So they're still in technology and money around the world with their hackers. So maybe they don't need to blackmail us anymore. Their hackers have gotten really good. They can sell our secrets. They know where we're at, what we're doing. And maybe they could also hit our power grid through that hacking. Now, what I tell you before about hacking, well, there's a whole lot more to come on that. So they've got a huge hacking force there, and they're really good. They're really good at hacking. They steal money and lots of it, and they're getting away with it. So maybe they don't need to blackmail us anymore. Maybe those days are past. So what is it they really want to do? Uh-oh, ads popping up. Bing, bing, bing. I'm going to try to change the next one. But look at this, guys. So we're talking about the possibility maybe North Korea would have envious eyes toward the South. Nah, why would they do that? Only because the South is so much richer. Look at this, guys. A satellite picture of North Korea at night. Yeah, what's this? Their capital city here. Look, look at South Korea. Boom, all lit up. This is a wealthy country. This is a Spartan country. This country is all military. This country is having a good time. Which one of these two would you rather live in if you had a choice? You know, there's no people defecting from South Korea in mass trying to get into North Korea. People risk their lives to get out of this place and come down here. As they always seem to do from communist and totalitarian societies, run into freer, open, more democratic republics. Some people have a hard time. That's not what the school systems teach us. How can it possibly be, Greg? That can't be. No way. Just look over and over. That's what happens. So do you think maybe the North Koreans might have envious eyes toward all the wealth down here in the South? Yeah, all the wealth that they might could get a hold of if they just take out the leadership of and military of South Korea. Could they do it? Well, South Korean military is some tough hombres, man. I'm gonna tell you something. They got some of the toughest troops in the world. But do they have enough? Are they ready for an onslaught? Look at this. So the defectors who managed to get out love North Korea so much that what do they say? What do they do? North Korean defectors want America to fight Kim to the last American. They want us everyone to go in and just to the last one of us are gone to fight him. Maybe that's what it would take. But man, these guys are not happy campers with North Korea. They love socialism and communism so much that this is what they're saying to us. Wow. Holy guac and smoke-a-moly. Are we going to do that? I think probably not, but holy guac and smoke-a-moly. We do have a defense treaty and forces in South Korea big time. And matter of fact, we're still at war with North Korea. Technically, we're under an armistice. I'll show you that in a minute. Something a lot of people don't realize. See, North Korea, right here. It's a socialist state. They have elections. Yeah, right. It's the Democratic People's Republic, even. Yeah, we see how all that goes, right? Like the over here in mainland China, the People's Republic of China. Yeah, right. So, yeah, see this? We're in a well, that's not it right there. We're under an armistice. It's here it is. The Korean Armistice Agreement brought about a ceasefire, but no, look at this, no peace treaty was signed. Technically, we're still at war with North Korea. Yikes. See, the main Korean, what we call the Korean War, 1950 to 1953, until the armistice was signed. But again, that's a ceasefire. A ceasefire. It's not an end to the war. Yikes, guys, come on. So, look, we're going down. We won't go through all this. Now, you can see the lines of invasion over time when North Korea almost took out South Korea, and then we pushed back. I mean, holy smoke, we pushed all the way back. And then we kind of gave up a little bit, and then it kind of fell down where it is. Back and forth a bit. Yeah, you see that? That was an ugly war those 3 years. Holy guac and smoke-a-moly, guys. That was ugly, ugly, ugly. That was tough. My older brother, who's passed away a little over almost a year ago, he spent some time in North Korea when he was in the Army. He called it Cold Rear. That was his nickname for it. He was in South Korea. But you know, hey, my kids, my oldest two kids, their best friends growing up were you know, I had a son and a daughter, and it was a Korean family. It had a son and daughter the same age, and they were best friends. In fact, my daughter still keeps up with that girl. In fact, she's a Facebook friend of mine. I won't name her, but you know, they're still great friends. And I love the Korean people. They're beautiful people, smart people, very smart. I mean, holy smoke, these people are smart. But let me show you something. And they're beautiful people, including the people in North Korea. Like I said, it's the governments that are the issues, my friends. I always tell you that. It's not the people, it's the governments. But now look at this. This is what you need to see. This is what you really need to know. The Korean People's Army has 1,106,000 active troops and 8,389,000 reserve and paramilitary troops. Holy guac smoke a moly, guys. That is a huge military. That is the world's largest military. Oh, practically the active duty counts for that. But look, together, what is this? Yikes, guys. We're over 9 million, almost 9.5 million troops. What? Making the largest military institution in the world. Yes, this is huge, huge, huge. And they're not spread out all over the world like ours. They're all in one little place, just ready to go to one other little place, South Korea, to defend themselves from us. And eventually, they've always wanted to take South Korea, just kind of like China wants to take the People's Republic of China, I should say, wants to take the Republic of China, which is Taiwan, on the island of Formosa. So, guys, holy guac and smoke a moly, this is something. Oh, did I see a cross? Yeah, what was that? I saw something. Yeah, here's the launch complexes. Now here's another. Here it is again. Don't that tell you everything? China does better. South Korea, you know. But looky here, holy guac and smoke a moly. What's that? Fishing fleets out here. So, and what could they do to us? Well, here's their missiles. This is their latest missile, the KN-08 Road Mobile ICBM. Max range over 5,500 kilometers, which is 3,400 miles. Well, that don't sound so bad coming from Korea. What could it reach? Well, let's see. Here's the map. Dun, 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 dun. It's this line right here, the KN-08. See? What about that? But this says 11,500 kilometers. Interesting. So the only way you can be safe from this missile in the United States and North America is be in Florida, below the Panhandle. Look at this. Wow. Of course, these guys over here got to worry about Cuba and Venezuela. Wow. Europe, yeah, you're totally within. And here's your Taepodong 2 missile, which gets Hawaii, lots of Canada, Seattle, and of course Alaska is even within the range of the KN-14, and even this guy here, the Musadan. So there's several missiles within the range of course, we have a missile defense base up here at Fort Greely, Alaska, which was my last duty station in the Army. You may have seen Ed Kiker on my video recently. I did a joint video with him. He used to be the post environmental officer at Fort Greely. We're talking about Snowball Earth. He's a geologist. He buried the nuclear reactor from Fort Greely, by the way. The other missile sites over here in Vandenberg Air Force Base. So, Army base and Air Force Base, and it's Army missiles, which were developed by the program I used to work for, basically. My calendar on the wall. So look here, guys. North Korea may test launch missile soon. Could strike U.S., says Air Force General. Yes, at KN-08 again. Dun, 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 dun. We won't go through all that. Of course, there's a Kim Yo-Jong, who's little Kim Jong-un's. Yeah, I don't know how they get those names, guys. Sister. Some people say earn a power struggle. Here it is. This is the KN-08 intermediate range ballistic missile. Where's their intercontinental ballistic missile? Just look, that guy, and this big fat guy here looks a lot different. Interesting. Okay. So, but here's what Seoul really has to worry about more than anything. You know, if North Korea is going to attack Seoul, they're not going to nuke Seoul. They can already take Seoul out with artillery. And in fact, guys, North Korea, see, Seoul is just right across the border. The capital of South Korea is right across the border almost from North Korea. And North Korea has a vast array of artillery that is believed that could almost instantaneously wipe out North Korea. It would just rain artillery. 250,000 dead, that may be optimistic. It might be worse, given what all they have there. North Korea has deployed at least 3 artillery systems capable of ranging targets in Greater Seoul metropolitan area with virtually no warning. I mean, just all at once, it could be raining artillery. We're talking about a 170 millimeter Koksan gun, which is the most numerous. It can also fire 37 miles. North Korea deploys the truck-mounted launchers and fire a volley of as many as 22 240 millimeter rockets at a range of 37 miles. I guess that's for each truck. So wow, guys, we're not joking here. We're not joking here. So these systems, this artillery, could take out the capital city of South Korea and do a lot of damage to the military, the DMZ. Look, North Korea's got a huge military. They're dug in. Oh yeah, one other thing I didn't tell you about here. Let's go back to this, guys. Let's see how to kill this picture. See, it's believed that North Korea actually has 30 to 40 nuclear warheads, and they're building 6 to 7 per year. Where's that? Somewhere out right there. 30 to 40 nuclear weapons. That says weapons. It could have more warheads than that then if they're MIRVed. And they produce enough fissile material to build 6 or 7 more per year. Well, that's enough to do a lot of damage to a lot of big cities in the United States. I don't think they'd want to use them in South Korea. They might use a few. Then they might EMP the theater to wipe out our military systems. Remember, I've got to tell you this. This gentleman right here, William Robert Graham, who once was a deputy administrator and then became the administrator of NASA, who was also Ronald Reagan's chief guy for doing, look here. He did weapon systems, arms negotiations for Ronald Reagan. Somewhere in here it talks about that. But he is, I know this guy more for what, look, he's a physicist who also has a PhD in electrical engineering. Okay, this guy is pretty serious. William Robert Graham. He's considered the foremost expert on electromagnetic pulse. So he served in 1980 as a presidential advisor to Ronald Reagan's member of his transition team, or somebody also talks about his role in weapons negotiations. Yeah, here it is. Served on the Rumsfeld Commission, investigated a ballistic missile threat to the United States. Yes, there's more in here on him somewhere, but I'm not seeing it all right now. So, but he is known for this. Several times he's warned us about the dangers of an EMP. He testified in Congress in 2008. I've seen the congressional record and the entry in the congressional record where he actually named something that we thought was classified before, but since it's republished now, it's no longer classified. He said that the Soviet generals told him they had EMP superweapons that could put 200,000 volts per meter on our power lines, which is 4 times higher than the standard that we built our defense systems to be able to withstand. And furthermore, he said that these generals told him that they gave the technology for these systems to North Korea. And that was in the congressional record as published in 2008. Holy guac and smoke moly, guys, this is serious. This is serious. And he also testified, because he was the head of the congressional task force that I mentioned many times, that 90% of the US population would perish in such an attack. He said within a year. And I have been reinformed members of this task force that that's a very optimistic number. It would be far worse. And if you want to know why that is, see my many videos on this topic. So we're going to stop this year and we're going to go somewhere else. Hey, hello. You've heard me mention William Graham before. So I just thought I'd show him to you. And no, this is not a star. This is the Space Force logo. Okay, guys? Yeah, I've had people, somebody really getting in a wad over that. You know, come on, guys. Take it. Peace out. All right, so I want to do another share here. We're going to go to here. Bang. Bada bing, bada bang. As we know, back in 2013, Kim Jong-un threatened missile strikes against the U.S. mainland in retaliation for sanctions imposed on them. And it just so happens that in this time frame, his KMS-3 satellite flew right over Washington, D.C. And when was that? The first time a Korean satellite went over Washington, D.C.? 16 April 2013. Remember this date, 16 April, because something else happened on that day, and perhaps even yet something else. So was there a coordination of a three-pronged attack, a simulation of a three-pronged attack on U.S. that day? See, a lot of us worry about what we call fractional orbital bombardment systems, in which a satellite is used to hide nuke. One time they thought they could actually drop nukes on us from a fractional orbital bombardment, but now that it's considered the biggest threat it would just be a device that would explode while it's going overhead and initiate an EMP, which would wipe out our entire electrical grid, especially the EMP super weapon, which is actually usually the smaller nukes, because the bigger ones are shielded and don't let out as much gamma rays. It's the gamma rays that do the dirty work. And here's the orbital path of the KMS-3-2 satellite on that day, right over Washington, D.C. For the first time it flew over Washington, D.C. And while all that was going on, it just so happens that we find out that the North Koreans had this tramp steamer, the Chung Chung gang, running around in the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean Sea, apparently. Remember me talking about the threat of possibly having a ship? Oh yeah, this shows an erect missile launcher on the deck of the ship. That's a kind of artist's rendition of what might be going on here. Yeah, this thing was in the Gulf of Mexico apparently, and maybe the Caribbean Sea. And I said, now, an unstable nation like Venezuela, somebody could just go off the shore of it and launch something, and you wouldn't know who it came from, because North Korea, Iran, China, and Russia are all heavily involved in Venezuela. Another great example of a oil-rich nation, his largest oil reserves on Earth, who's starving to death under their socialistic policies, my friends. Oh my gosh! Look here. Here it is, the Chung Chung gang. Here's the missiles that was in the cargo hold, and there's the carriers. Bing, bang, bang, all hiding under packs of sugar. I kid you not. They found this thing in July 2013 as it's going back out of that area through the Panama Canal. They wanted to take it around the tip of South America instead, but storms and other things prohibited it, so they decided to take the shortcut. They hoped they wouldn't get caught, and they did. So what else happens? 16 April 2013. Ding, ding, ding. Yeah, is this date ringing a bell? Well, it just so happens the Metcalf station that is a big transformer system that provides power to San Jose, California, where we have all our Silicon Valley stuff, was attacked by people that really knew what they were doing, apparently with AKs, my friends. Yeah. So it looked like a dry run, according to Navy SEALs that had a look at what happened. They could have taken things out, but they targeted certain things as if to practice. My friends, this is no joke. PG&E. Boy, a lot of people are just big fans of PG&E, right? And of course, as I just mentioned, North Korea is expert in cyber attacks. So let's stop this share. So really, what's going on here? What's cooking? What's happening? I've told you before, if there's an attack on our grid, it'll probably be a multi-pronged attack. It could be MP, direct physical attack, like happened at the Metcalf station, hacking attacks, and many other forms these could take. And North Korea has practiced and been involved in all of these. So they could take out our grid. Would they? Would they attack South Korea? What premises under which would they do that? Well, they probably won't do it tomorrow morning. Maybe not. We don't really know what's in the head of a dictator who lives in a cult of personality that's been raised. His dad was a big fan of cartoons, and they grow up like kid rock stars or kid movie stars. Their whole sense of reality is warped by the big fandom and everybody licking their feet, and it's your sense of just like the child stars, how they get messed up in life because their sense of reality becomes warped. Imagine that you're born and raised to be a dictator in a country, and everybody licks your toes for all your life, and tells you whatever you want to hear, and they're afraid to say anything to you. Your sense of reality gets severely warped. You might even acquire a God complex. I don't know. You think you're more powerful than you are. I don't know. But it's a dangerous thing, very dangerous, especially if you are psychopathic. I mean, look, you almost have to be to rise in power in some of these situations. I mean, look at it. Kim Jong-un actually killed, is allegedly well, I'm not going to say it. This channel will strike me for it. He did things to his uncle that were the one that put him in power, in fact. You could say he went to the dogs, if you know what I mean. Wow. So this is a somber situation. Why all at once do they change their game? Or they're withdrawing from us? Are they planning to change something? Are they going to do something? Do they have envious eyes towards South Korea? Well, sure they do. But you guys say, great, they won't do nothing because they know we'll whomp them and turn them into a plate of glass. You got to realize North Korea could always just turn around and blackmail us and say, no, if you hit us, then we're going to launch all this stuff. I'm not saying they would launch it all at us to start with. I'm not even saying they would EMP us to start with. They might. That's typically the doctrine of a country. If they're going to initiate an attack on a country, a nuclear power, the first thing they would do is EMP them. But maybe all this is being held for blackmail. We know they like to play the game of blackmail. Maybe they just want to take over South Korea. But great, they wouldn't do that. It's just crazy. Well, they might do it under the cover of other things. Maybe they got a deal with China and Iran. Each of these countries may have their own game of advancing things. And maybe, as we know, China's chomping at the bit to take Taiwan. But we think, well, if we hit Taiwan, we'll deal with them. What happens if Taiwan and South Korea get attacked at the same time, and maybe Iran attacks Israel at the same time? What's the United States going to do? We're going, suddenly we got three fronts to deal with. We're really only set up to deal with one front. You got a 1 million man army that's heavily dug in North Korea. I'm not saying it's going to happen. Don't quote me and say Greg Allison said North Korea is going to attack South Korea. I didn't say it's going to happen. I'm asking questions. I'm just pointing out possibilities. We do know that we've got a sudden game change in the way they're playing their game. Why are they changing it? Is it just another ploy to blackmail us and get more out of us and promise things, all the promises they continue to build? Why do they continue to build so? Why are they so militarized? Why? Well, and of course, we know they use the United States as they tell their people every day the United States is going to hit us. The United States is going to this. The United States is going to that. I think the people would start to doubt that after a while. But they use us as a boogeyman to justify the regime's existence and the whole existence of the military-industrial complex that they have, which is their entire country, practically. So there you have it. North Korea is a dangerous hermit kingdom. They live in their own little universe, and the leaders are in a universe inside that universe. I wouldn't want to crawl inside of Kim Jong-un's head for anything, because holy smoke, I would probably get drunk and throw up. So What could they be plotting? We don't know. We don't know. Because like I said, they live in fantasy la la land. And their sense of reality is warped. They really may think that they could take South Korea. And maybe they can. At what cost? Are they willing to sacrifice the cost? Maybe think, hey, we'll need North Korean, but we'll all live in South Korea. We'll just take it over. Could they? I don't know, but I know they could certainly make it rain artillery in North Korea, and in Seoul, South Korea. They could make a bad day there. Let's hope that don't happen. Let's hope these things don't come to pass. But my friends, it's a dangerous place. It's a dangerous world. Things could happen. And maybe, just maybe, they would want to do it in concert with China making a move. And maybe they got a deal between each other on this. Oh, if you move, we'll move. And maybe that's how they pull it off. All these powers that the United States has been squeezing on, maybe they all pop at once. And then see what we do. That's crazy. It's crazy. But, China's jumping to take Taiwan. Maybe China would go North Korea into doing something. Maybe China would tell North Korea, oh, we got intel. The United States is about to move on you. They're tired of you. Maybe they would go Iran the same way. Remember, the Ayatollahs just took out a huge loan to China. China just put a whole lot of money into that regime. I don't know, guys. Probably not. Hope not. But it is not impossible. That's my point. It's not impossible. It could happen. And it might happen. The whole world is going crazy these days. You know what I mean? International tensions are going off the charts. Maybe Russia would take the Baltics at the same time. So what if Russia took the Baltics or more of Ukraine, and Iran made a move, and North Korea made a move, and China made a move all at the same time? What would we do? How would we react to it? That's WWIII. Wow. Let's hope that don't happen. But how do you keep things from happening? You stay aware of it. You keep people informed. That's one, maybe call bluffs before things come about. Make sure our politicians are really understanding these things. I'm sure they are, though. But guys, the military, the State Department, all these people really need to be on top of the game on these things. I don't know, guys. It's not pretty. It's not pretty. Things could happen. All these things could misinterpretations. It could all come about accidentally, rather. Just through one side misreading or misinterpreting what the other side's doing. Well, I don't know. Or maybe it's just all a big kabuki dance. But it's a very dangerous one with very dangerous pointy weapons. They can do more damage than we would ever want to imagine. Even little North Korea with 30 to 40 of these things, that's not trivial. With their military, wow, they have a huge military. So let's hope we never have to face it. But we've been there once before. The war is technically still on. It's just an armistice. Let's pray that armistice holds for a long, long time. And that's the best thing you can do. Pray. All right. What do you think about all this? Leave comments below. But guys, it's just another reason to prep, to get ready and tell your neighbors and friends and family. Guys, this world's crazy. It's nuts. You better get ready. There's things that just might come loose at any time. We just don't know. It's an insurance policy. I hope for the best. I'm hoping for a bright future. I got some huge, big plans. So I don't want none of this to happen. I have huge, big plans for grand things. More on that later. So let's hope these things do not come to pass. So with all that, I'm going to say, guys, do go and check out my links to go to prepwithgreg.com for the specials on the food. Check out True Leaf Market for your seeds. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe and bang that notification bell and click all, because I'll bring you a lot more videos. Anyway, guys, North Korea, holy smoke, Kim Jong-un, cult of personality, yikes. Guys, have a great weekend, and thank you for watching.